The original Range Rover Evoque debuted for 2012 and was a hit. Sporting a fresh and modern design, the gateway Range Rover model would go on to sell more than 800,000 copies worldwide, but after a run that spanned 8 model years, it was ripe for a makeover, which is what you see here in the new 2020 Evoque. To not mess with success, the new Evoque visually doesn't stray too far from the original. The wedge shape and tapering roofline remain, but are joined by slimmer light housings that seem to be all the rage now with numerous automakers, and flush power door handles to further clean up matters. The result is a distinctive and attractive design with a hint of aggression thanks to the car's mammoth 21-inch wheels and our dynamic touches like the darkened grille, badges, body color bumpers, and various burnt copper trim pieces. I'm also a big fan of the Nolita gray paint job, which is an exclusive shade on this first edition model. Inside, there's a drastic improvement in quality, which is a good thing because the stuff inside the old car wasn't a strong suit. There's a lot of different materials sprinkled throughout, including a large amount of stitched and padded surfaces, leather, and dark aluminum trim. Everything looks good, is high quality, and is now worthy of the Range Rover name. Up front, it's spacious enough with comfortable seats, while the rear gains a little bit of legroom thanks to a slightly longer wheelbase, though headroom is still a little tight because of a sloping roofline. There's an uptick in cargo space too, with a wider trunk offering 21.5 cubic feet of space, which grows to 50.5 when you have the rear seats folded. The cabin is uncluttered, being without many physical controls. Land Rover's latest in-control Touch Pro Duo infotainment system is mainly the reason for that uses two 10-inch center touchscreens to control navigation, a 10-speaker Meridian audio system, Wi-Fi hotspot, and both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The lower screen thankfully has a couple of dials and a legit volume knob, which keeps me happy. I personally like lots of good old-fashioned hard controls, but the touchscreens do feature clear menu layouts, are responsive to inputs, and the few hard controls it does have combine for an intuitive setup. But for a closer look at Touch Pro Dual and all of the Evoque safety technologies, we have a separate tech check video for that. One of the biggest bits of news for the new Evoque is the arrival of a 296 horsepower hybrid 4-cylinder drivetrain, but all first editions just get the standard 2-liter turbocharged 4 with 246 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. That bolts to a new 9-speed automatic transmission that with all-wheel drive returns an EPA estimated 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway. In terms of power, I've got no complaints. There's no boost lag, it's lively off the line, particularly when you have dynamic mode selected, with peak torque at your service from just 1,300 RPMs and stays there to 4,500. The gearbox is a little bit different. It offers rapid, well-timed shifts, but I've experienced a number of jerky launches, which is a disappointment. Dynamically, the Evoque is a competent handler with adaptive dampeners, responsive and weighty steering, big old 21-inch Pirelli tires, and strong brakes. There's a little bit of body roll prior to the suspension taking a set at turn-in before it confidently tracks through corners, and it changes directions quickly too. It doesn't quite have the reflexes of, say, a Porsche Macan, but you can certainly have some fun here slinging it around. But the biggest surprise here is how well this rides on these tires. In comfort mode, impacts from small to medium bumps are mostly gobbled up. Yeah, you're still gonna feel something over the bigger stuff, but it's far from violent and uncomfortable, and there's not much tire noise to speak of. With that said, kudos to the Land Rover chassis team for a job well done. The 2020 Range Rover Evoque begins at $42,650, making it many $1,000s more to start than things like the BMW X1, Lexus NX, Mercedes GLA, and Volvo XC40. This very well-equipped first edition here is even pricier. All in with a couple of options, it wears a $59,000 price tag. But compared to its similarly sized competitors, the Evoque is the most upscale and fashionable of the bunch with some real off-road chops. For those who care about that kind of stuff, this Range Rover starting price premium may be worth it.